number one, I feel like most people are in relationships and don't have a relationship with their self. Um, Number two, I think people don't know how to communicate. And then number three, I think people get with people for that they're not aligned with on a deep, like fundamental level, such as like morals and values. Anything you want to add to that?
I agree.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, I agree.
Okay. Anything else, brother?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think really like knowing yourself and knowing what you're looking for is definitely really important. And when you really know what you want, you can definitely attract what you want even better. And I definitely agree. I guess my other question is that I had in mind before coming in here was, what do you see being the biggest issue or the biggest challenge you might face in relationships moving forward, and how do you think you'll handle them?
In my relationship or just a normal relationship?
Like in your relationships that you have and with like what you have envisioned.
Whew. Honestly, just making sure that we communicate with each other and not getting influenced by the outside world.
Yeah.
Not succumbing to any negativity.
There you go. So what do you think is the way to handle that? To handle like any negativity that might come up? Because I know when you're out there and you're getting attention, there's bound to be people that want to see others just get destroyed or fall or fail or whatever the case. So what do you think is the way to handle that whenever like hate or negativity might come your way?
Okay. Honestly, I think you got to have a strong sense of self, man. To be honest, you got to know who you are, and like at the end of the day, your opinion has to be, you know, stronger than anything. And I know I introduced this guy and it's like, tell us your name and where you're from and how'd you find us. But this is somebody, guys, that I have a lot of respect for. He's a beast. He's a genius. He's a freaking phenom. Dylan, tell everybody how old you are, man.
I'm 23 years old.
Okay, 23 years old, bro. This man, he sounds like he should be a broadcaster. I'm 23 years old. No, I love it. That's the number one thing, man, having a strong sense of self and having a support system, right? I always say you never rise to the strength of your goals, you only fall to the weakness of your system. So you definitely got to have a proper support system. And doing what we do, is going to be divisive. One thing about this, about being authentically yourself, you can see who loves you and who supports you. And I think it is really, 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 really clear. I think it separates like the people that rock with you versus the people that you don't. I know that's what the number one thing I learned. Who really supports me, who really doesn't.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think it's definitely important. Like for me, obviously, being out there and just communicating. I, of course, have people that just like come after me and whatnot, but I think it's really important, like you said, just to really focus on your support system and the people that are with you and do support you, and helping those people grow and helping those people do better is really the way to go.
Yeah, and I got a question. What do you think about poly?
About poly?
Mm-hmm.
Well, personally for me, I don't see myself going in that direction, but I could see the viewpoint of wanting to do that, and I think that it's definitely a thing that people want to do, and if people want to do that and can make it work, then fine. I personally think for myself, if people want to do that and can make it work, then fine. I personally think for myself, I want to keep the circle like as tight as possible, and I think that kind of putting myself out there more and more and kind of leaving myself open to like dating more than one person could be in a way dangerous, because I know that when you're successful, people sort of like come after you in more ways than one. So personally for me, I think that it would be a better idea for me to like stay monogamous, but if you're able to make it work, then have at it.
Yeah. Interesting. So you disagree. It's just not for you.
Yeah.
Interesting. So why do you think that so many marriages fail?
I think that marriages fail because of lack of communication. That's all it comes down to. If there's a failing marriage, if somebody's needing to get divorced if they really have like a common goal and purpose with their spouse, it's really just due to a lack of communication. You know, there's a lot of things that stem from that, and on a surface level, it might look like something else, but I think it really comes down to a lack of communication, because when people really communicate, they're able to see each other's viewpoints. When you see each other's viewpoints,
Yeah.
you can see that the other person isn't like bad intended. Chances are, if you've married someone, they want to support you, they want to help you, they want to like do good for you. And the only reason why somebody in a marriage would think that the other is in any other way is just because they're not communicating. They don't understand the viewpoint of the other. So the more communication that occurs, the better a relationship's going to be. And so I think it just boils down to lack of communication, really.
Interesting. Okay. With that being said, relationship with somebody or not being a poly relationship because you feel like people will come after you when you're successful, right? For those of you guys that don't know, this guy's a beast. All right, this guy's an absolute beast. He's a savage, man. You guys go look him up. He's the real deal. But you didn't say it's something that you just necessarily don't desire. So I guess if you had, a wife and you're married and your wife was okay with you having another woman and she knew about it and was like okay with it, you mean to tell me you wouldn't have another woman?
Nah.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? Personally, like just my ideal scene, everybody has a different ideal scene, what they want in their life. For me, I just want a wife. That's it.
Why are you saying that's it? Like you're like settling?
Because I mean, for me, that's good. For me, that's just the ideal scene. That's
not great. Like why not? Great?
What's that?
I said, but why not great? You saying like that's it? That's all I need? It's like you're like settling. It's just like somebody saying, "Oh, I just want to make $100,000 a year. That's all I need." Right? But like, well, okay, well, why not go for $1 billion?
Yeah. Well, the way that I think of it is I can, if I want to expand in that area of my life, I can do things with that one person to expand that relationship and thus expand that area of my life.
What does that mean? You mean like have like threesomes with random girls? Like what does that mean?
No. Like, obviously for any good relationship to be, there needs to be some kind of.
How do you retain top talent?
The way that you retain top talent is by really having a good culture and by doing all of the right things. And the way to do this is really by partnering with the right people.
Common goal that I have with that one person. Maybe that would be aligning some kind of activities that we do in business, or maybe some kind of volunteer stuff, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But it would ultimately be to like do something that's about that common goal and purpose, and expand upon that, and achieve more, do more in that area. Interesting.
Okay. Well, I'm with you. Well, listen, man, this guy Dylan, I have a tremendous amount of respect. This guy taught me a lot about entrepreneurship. This guy is literally in my definition, literal genius. Very powerful person, taught me a lot. Didn't know you were on TikTok.